World War II, a time when the world trembled and freedom stood on the edge of collapse. But in that darkness rose a woman, an American, with a wooden leg, who became the single most dangerous spy the Nazis ever faced. Her name was Virginia Hall, and this is her story. Virginia Hall was born in Baltimore, Maryland. No one who knew her as a child could have imagined what destiny held for her. She was curious, restless, stubborn, and endlessly ambitious. As a young woman, she left the comfort of American life and studied in France, Austria, and Germany. She spoke multiple languages. She understood European politics better than many diplomats twice her age. She wanted to join the U.S. Foreign Service, but life had different plans. During a hunting trip in Turkey, a gun misfired. The accident shattered her left leg. Doctors had no choice. They amputated. Virginia woke up in a hospital bed, minus a limb, plus a future she never asked for. Her new wooden leg heavy, stiff, and painfully obvious, she named Cuthbert. Most people would have stopped chasing their dreams. Virginia Hall didn't stop. She adapted. She pushed harder. She walked with pain, but she walked with purpose. And then the world caught fire. By 1940, Hitler's armies were sweeping through Europe like a steel storm. France, proud, historic, alive, fell in just 6 weeks. Roads were jammed with families fleeing the invasion. Cities were crumbling. The sky burned orange with fire and smoke. But while millions ran away, Virginia Hall drove into the chaos. She joined the French ambulance service, a one-legged American rescuing soldiers under falling bombs. Imagine it, roads packed with refugees, bombs exploding in the distance, German tanks approaching, and Virginia, gripping the steering wheel, refusing to back down. She joined the French ambulance service, a one-legged American rescuing soldiers under falling bombs. Her courage caught the attention of an organization that was watching the war very differently, the British Special Operations Executive, the SOE. This was no ordinary agency. This was Churchill's secret army. The people who blew up bridges, sabotaged railways, and trained spies, and to them, Virginia Hall looked perfect. In the countryside of England, Virginia began one of the toughest training programs in the world. She learned how to fire weapons, how to make bombs from household items, how to transmit coded radio messages, and how to survive if she were ever captured. They taught her lockpicking, tailing suspects, disguise work, forgery, and sabotage. She was taught how to lie under pressure, how to resist interrogation, and how to disappear. Even with a wooden leg, she outperformed many trainees. Instructors wrote in their reports, "Exceptional intelligence, unbreakable nerve." When her training ended, they handed her forged papers, a radio transmitter, and a mission that could get her killed in days. They were sending her back into Nazi-occupied France. Virginia arrived in Lyon, a city crawling with German soldiers and Gestapo agents. Yet she didn't hide. She moved through cafes, marketplaces, train stations, collecting information, building contacts, forming resistance cells. She organized safe houses, smuggled down Allied pilots out of France, provided money to families hiding Jews, arranged escape routes across borders. She created one of the largest and most efficient spy networks in southern France, all under the noses of the Nazis. But her wooden leg made her identifiable, and the Germans began whispering about a mysterious woman, the Limping Lady. The Gestapo launched a massive manhunt. Wanted posters went up, agents were deployed, interrogations began. They wanted her badly. Klaus Barbie, the butcher of Lyon, famously ordered, "Find the American woman with the limp. She is the most dangerous of them all." Virginia was now the #1 spy target in France. But she stayed, she fought, she outsmarted every trap. Until one day, the Germans closed in too tightly, and she had to run or die. Her only escape route was the Pyrenees Mountains. Winter, snow, deadly cold. And this was no gentle hiking trail. These were vertical cliffs, freezing winds, wolf-haunted forests, and narrow passes patrolled by German soldiers. Virginia, with her wooden leg, began a grueling journey on foot. Each step drove pain up her body. Each mile felt like torture. Cuthbert, the wooden leg, scraped rocks, froze in snow, and nearly broke. But Virginia refused to stop. After days of brutal climbing, blisters bleeding, muscles trembling, breath burning in frozen air, she finally collapsed across the Spanish border. She survived something that killed trained mountaineers. The Nazis never found her. She had outsmarted them again. Back in London, something unexpected happened. The Americans took notice. The OSS, the agency that would later become the CIA, recruited her immediately. Their mission for her: prepare France for the Allied invasion, D-Day. But the Germans now knew her face, so she became someone new. She aged herself with makeup. She stooped her back. She altered her walk. She carried baskets, milk cans, farm tools. She disguised her wooden leg beneath long skirts. And just like that, Virginia Hall vanished. In her place walked an old, harmless peasant woman. But under that disguise, she was rebuilding resistance networks from the ground up. She supplied weapons, planned ambushes, cut communication lines, trained fighters, mapped German positions, sabotaged German trains using timed explosives she designed herself. And when D-Day arrived, her networks erupted with synchronized attacks. Trains derailed, roads exploded, communication towers collapsed. German movements slowed to chaos. Her fingerprints were everywhere, even if her name wasn't. After the war, Virginia didn't become famous. She didn't write books or appear in interviews. She simply continued serving her country, joining the CIA as one of its first female officers. She worked behind a desk, quietly, efficiently, never once bragging about what she did. Many of her missions remain classified even today. In 1945, she received the Distinguished Service Cross, the only civilian woman in WWII to earn the honor. But even during the award ceremony, she stood quietly at the back of the room, because that's who she was, a hero who didn't need applause. This was Virginia Hall, a woman with courage greater than armies, a spy with a wooden leg who outsmarted Hitler's best agents, built armies from nothing, and changed the course of World War II. She didn't fight for glory. She didn't fight for fame. She fought because it was right. And sometimes the greatest heroes are the ones history almost forgets. If stories of unsung heroes inspire you, if you believe courage deserves to be remembered, then join us. Subscribe to the channel and help keep these forgotten legends alive. Your support lets us bring more powerful, true stories from history's darkest hours to light. Hit the subscribe button and become part of a community that keeps bravery alive.